Polar bears are finally here in PUBG. That's right, the test server is now available for PC for 22.1, as well as the full patch notes being out. So today I'm going to show you some gameplay of the bears in action, as well as all of the other new features, and run through everything you need to know, including release dates and the new map rotation. This update is going to go live on PUBG PC next Wednesday on the 15th of February, and then for console it's going to go out on Thursday the 23rd of Feb. For players on PC in EU and NA regions and any other region that doesn't have map selection, we're going to see the map rotation change to be Erangel, Miramar, Destin, Karakin and Vikendi, with an even weighting for all of those maps. So we're losing the 40% Vikendi weighting, Taego is being dropped, Sanhok is being dropped, and we're seeing Destin come back in as well as Karakin. Ranked is staying the same as Erangel, Miramar and Taego. I'm really happy with these changes. It's great to see Destin come in for Taego. Is well overdue, and to have Destin and Vikendi in rotation at the same time just makes sense. They're the two most recent maps with all of the latest features in them, and it's great to see them in there together. I think this is one of the strongest map rotations we've had for quite a long time. They also go on to say in this dev comment down below that they've made this tweak based on some player feedback, and they also say that they're planning a change to the map rotation system based on all of your feedback sometime this year. With this update, every player from every region will be able to meet various maps at a faster pace. Until then, enjoy the return of Destin and Karakin in this update. So an interesting note there. We don't really know what to take from that, but it's great to see them working on map selection, map rotation, and making changes. And if it means we get into games quicker, then that can only be a good thing. Moving on swiftly to the bears, as I'm sure that's what a lot of you are here to see. I've been playing around with these in custom games on the test server on my couple of my test accounts. The polar bears basically can be found around the caves that you may have seen already on Vikendi and not really found anything in. They're now going to be guarded by massive dirty grey polar bears. Within the caves, you're going to find high tier loot. There's crates in which you'll find stuff like thermal scopes, which we'll come on to in a minute, as well as other stuff. You can get level 3 gear, critical response kits seem quite common, meds. I found an emergency pickup in one, all sorts of pretty good stuff, but the polar bears are pretty hard bastards. If you go within a certain range of the polar bears, they're going to attack you. If you're in a car, they're going to attack the car. They can burst tires on cars and damage you through them. And they take a hell of a lot of damage to actually be killed. You can kill them. I don't know if it might be easier to distract them and one of you run in and try and grab the loot and run away. I can see that ending pretty badly. They hit pretty hard. I think they can kill you in basically 2 hits. So yeah, it's really random, but it's going to be really fun, and I think help kind of solidify Vikendi's place as the most fun squad map. You've got the comeback BR, you're going to have polar bear shenanigans, you've got cable cars, it's got all sorts of weird fun stuff on it. So I personally can't wait to try and crash the polar bear compounds with my Patreon squads and my viewer squads when we do that. I think it's going to be loads of fun. So yeah, can't wait to check that out. The polar bears look awesome. They're well armed, they're guarding some good loot. There's quite a few different locations for them around the map. And yeah, bring it on. The other couple of things touched on there are the thermal scope and moonlight mode. So moonlight is coming back, where you get a nice sort of nighttime Vikendi where it's a lot darker, not pitch black, but quite a lot darker, and you get the aurora in the sky, which looks great. And that kind of couples quite well with the thermal scope, which is being added sort of slash re-added. They once tested a thermal scope in labs mode years ago, and this is kind of that. It's a 4x with a thermal view, so you can see heat outlines, you can see players, it shows vehicles as heat, and also shows polar bears, as you would imagine. You can see on screen kind of how that works. It comes as a 4x, that's the only one. There's not a longer or a shorter range for that, and you can find these as a world spawn item. They're particularly common in the bear caves. I'm assuming you can probably find them in the secret bunkers as well, maybe in airdrops too, but certainly the secret bear caves were stacked with thermal scopes. So if you want to get them, that's going to be a good place to look if you don't mind fighting a polar bear. The thermal scope is only on Vikendi unless you're in custom matches. You can turn it on those, or you can play in sandbox mode on PC and spawn them. They've also made a couple of small changes to the blizzard on Vikendi. Basically now smokes and molotovs work slightly differently within the blizzard. Before they just worked as normal, which was a bit weird with all the wind and stuff. So now smokes will be dissipated, and I think Molotovs will also dissipate within the blizzard. It can still do damage if you get hit directly with a molly, but it'll then put the fire out from all the wind. They've increased the spawn rate of folding shields and increased loot at train station, villa, castle, and winery, which is quite interesting because train station already had a ton of loot. They've made some changes on Karakin to the footstep audio to make it more noticeable whether people are on the surface or underground, which is really good because that was really hard to figure out before. So great little change there. And then they've made some gameplay changes as well. We've actually seen some gun balancing of the MK12. My much loved MK12 Mark 12 has finally been nerfed. They've changed the bullet velocity, has been slowed down, recoil recovery and speed has been nerfed, and the damage has been taken down by 1.2, which I think is pretty harsh. I know it's a great gun, but it already takes a lot of hits to kill people. When I've been thirsting people out recently, I shot a guy 7 times to thirst him out the other day with an MK12. So to have that damage taken down by a point, I feel is maybe a bit harsh given the other nerfs as well, but I think it will still be a pretty decent gun. They've adjusted some spawn rates of 5 and 7's weapons to be more similar rather than there be a discrepancy between the both. That applies to every map and mode. Also a few little nice vehicle changes. The Zima's been made slightly bigger. Some of the vehicles, well, all of the vehicles that had open roof models have actually been removed. So there was a UAZ Murado and pickup that all had open roofs. They've all now been replaced by ones that don't, just to keep things a bit more consistent as passengers were too vulnerable in those. So interesting change there. We'll see how that pans out. Another cool change, they've added trunks to pickup trucks and UAZ. So some of you might not even realize, but some vehicles like the Porter and the Zima and the police car on Destin have a storage trunk or boot, if you're English like me, where you can put items in them and transport them around and take them out and stuff like that. They've now added that to a couple of new vehicles. So it's nice to see that on lots of vehicles in the game. I think if it's on, the more vehicles it's on, the more people will get used to it and start using it regularly. I don't think it's a very much used feature at the moment, but it's quite useful if you remember it's there. They've also added the option to hide your in-game vest and belts. Along with helmet, you can now hide your helmet, your vest, and your belt, so you can just see your full uninterrupted outfit if you wish while you're playing the game. Doesn't affect what other players see, just affects what you see, but you can now change that. They do mention that they know about the sound issues going on consoles, specifically on Xbox. It doesn't really seem to affect PlayStation players, but on Xbox there's a lot of issues at the moment with lack of vehicle sound, lack of red zone sound, weird gun sounds, all sorts of audio issues that have been going on for absolutely ages, and they are still working to try and fix those. Ranked is about the same. You play ranked, you get some rewards, you know, parachute, emblem stuff, some temporary stuff. Same as always, it's ranked, same. Never changes, never improves. Custom matches, there's some nice changes here. They've added Intense BR to custom games, which I think is really cool. And they've also added Haven into custom matches, which has never been in it before. So that's really cool to see as well. You can also play around with the bear, the thermal 4X in Vikendi custom match settings. So some nice changes there. I think I might have to do some custom game sessions. I haven't done any for a while. Maybe we'll start doing them regularly again, because even if we only have 20 people, Haven Intense BR is a great mode to, you know, play with a small group of people. So I think we'll have a look at those soon on the stream. Other than that, there's some bug fixes, performance stuff as there normally is. So we'll just let you go through that in your own time. I'll put a link to the full patch notes down in the video description if you want to go through them in more detail. So that's everything from me today. I hope you found that video useful. If you did, please consider clicking like and subscribing to the channel if you would like to see more like this, or check out our creator code, which I'll put a little promo video for just at the end of today's video. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. I just wanted to drop you all a quick message to tell you about our PUBG creator code. As a PUBG partner, we have a creator code which you can add to your account, which means whenever you purchase anything in game, PUBG will give us a commission. Whether you're buying season passes, G-Coin bundles, or anything else that requires cash in PUBG, if you have our code added, then you'll be helping us out without costing yourself a penny extra. It's a great way to support the channel, and it really does help keep us making PUBG content for you. Plus, it's easy to set up, and you'll only ever have to do it once. To add our code, first visit accounts.pubg.com and then log in in or create an account. Once you've logged in, connect your Xbox, PlayStation or Steam account on the linked accounts tab, then go to the Creator Appreciation Program section and type the Beard Guys into the box or find us from the drop-down list. Then just click submit and you're all done. A massive thank you to everybody who has used our code. Your support is absolutely vital for us and it really makes a huge difference.